Good morning, Internet, and welcome back to Matic Film Society. Today we are taking a look at how to shoot film on the Kodak Ektar H35. This is a very simple, basically disposable, but actually reusable camera. And so what this does that's kind of unique is it actually shoots as half frame. Taking a standard roll of 36 exposures, when you put it in here, you actually end up getting 72 exposures because it's splitting each frame in half. And it's kind of unique because the way this camera shoots is if you're shooting it like this, just as a normal camera, it's going to shoot in a vertical orientation. But if you shoot it like this, then that's actually going to be your horizontal orientation. And you'll notice that when we show you how it looks through the viewfinder here. And so it's a very, very simple camera, has basically one button to change things. And all that is rotating your lens here to be either flash on the left or no flash on the right. But there's a secret to this camera that if you want to get a little bit more exposure in your images, all you have to do is not put the battery in the camera and switch this over to flash. And then this is actually going to fire at f8 instead of f11. And if you have it here on the no flash, that's going to fire this camera at f11. No battery, flash, f8. Battery, no flash, f11. Putting a battery in this camera is very, very simple. Right here on the bottom of your camera, you're gonna see this little arrow. Flip that open him up, take a very simple, just regular AAA battery, drop him in there, close that up, and that is ready to go. And you'll notice that if I rotate this lens over to the flash icon, you'll see this little red icon is saying that it's ready, meaning that it will flash when it's ready to go. Bam, flash away. And so now that it's off, you mean it shows that it's not ready to flash again, has to recharge, or you can just turn it off. You'll see that this light takes a little bit of time to turn back on once you've turned it off. And so that just means that it has to charge the flash. So this is how to load film into the Ektar H35 half frame camera. Come over here to the right side of the camera and see this little arrow. You're gonna pull that button down and that's going to release your film door. Once your film door is open, you have this little pawl right here, and that's going to be the spool that you load your film on. You can open it, you can get that down by opening this thing and pulling down on it, but it's really hard to pull it down, so I just stick my finger in here and pop it down that way. I find that that's a lot easier. Take your simple roll of 36 exposure, 35mm film, and you're gonna have the knob side up, goes in like that, and that makes it so your film lays flat against where it's going to be exposing. Then take this little thing and stick it back up in here so that it nicely locks in. And then you're going to take this and you have your advanced knob here, and that rotates your film, and you're gonna wanna rotate that until you see a little slot come up right there. And you're gonna take your film lead and pull it over and then tuck the lead into that little slot, and it'll get a little bit of tension when you put it in there, and then keep rotating this over as it grabs it so that it actually holds onto it. Give that nice in there, and then rotate, and it's going to start pulling your film over. You'll see that it pulls the film with it, and then go all the way until it stops. Press a frame, and you can pull a second one over if you want to, just to be safe, but you don't need to. Then close this up, lock it in, keep rotating over and firing off until you've gotten your film window here to stop saying S, and you can see that it is on the number 1 icon, meaning that's on your first frame and ready to go. So there's your flash, there's your viewfinder, there's your simple little plastic lens, your shutter release button, your flash indicator, your film advance. And then once you've finished shooting this roll of film, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come down here to the bottom of the camera, you're gonna press this little black button here, and that's going to release the mechanism in here so that your film can then be rotated back into the canister. And so now you'll come over here to this little rotator, and it has an arrow on it here saying that you spin it this way, and you're gonna rotate this until the film comes out of there and has rolled all the way back into the canister. I didn't roll it all the way back in there so that you can see that that's how it does it. So that's how it is out like that. And if you have this up and ready to spin, you just rotate that all the way back until your film is back in your canister. Take that to your lab and you're ready to go. And to be honest, this thing, for how cheap it is and how simple it is, it takes some pretty rad images.